Hi guys, it's Nick from Let's Chat, and in today's video I'm going to do my round 3 footy tips, and I'm also going to review my round 2 footy tips. So last week's tips, I tipped Carlton to beat Geelong, and they did. Can you believe it? Yes! I tipped Melbourne to beat Brisbane, but they didn't, so I got that one wrong. I tipped Collingwood to beat Port Adelaide, and they won really easy. I tipped Richmond, and I got that one right as well. I tipped the Western Bulldogs, but St Kilda somehow upset them. They smashed them. I tipped Fremantle, but North Melbourne suddenly won by a point in a famous win, so I got that one wrong. I tipped Sydney to win by 78 points, and I didn't get that one by far. I mean, I got that one right, but I only missed out the margin by like just 3 points. Can you believe it? I tipped Essendon to win by 26. That was another good tip. Like, I was only 2 points off my tip. And also, with the Carlton versus Geelong game, I tipped Carlton to win by 4 points. And Carlton won by 8 points. So I was only 4 points short on that. So I've been doing alright with the margins this week. And the last game, well, this was a disappointing one. I tipped GWS, and they lost to West Coast by surprise. West Coast won that one. So this week, I got another 5 out of 9. Not great, but I've done worse. Alright, so the first game for the week is between the Western Bulldogs and the Brisbane Lions. The Western Bulldogs had a shocking loss against St Kilda. They got destroyed by 51 points. And with Brisbane, they had an impressive win at home against the Demons. So I'm going to tip the Brisbane Lions here to win by a goal, 6 points. So now the next game is between Collingwood versus Richmond on the Friday night. Both teams coming off big wins, especially Collingwood. So I expect this to be a really good game as well. So I'm going to tip Collingwood to win by 3 points in a close game. So the next game is between Hawthorn and North Melbourne. The Hawks have had a really slow start to the season as far, starting 0-2. Whilst for North Melbourne, they've had an impressive start, starting 2-0, especially having an incredible win over Fremantle by a solitary point last week at Interstate. So, I reckon I'm going to tip North Melbourne to win by 14 points and for them to go 3-0 to start the season. Now the next game is between GWS versus Carlton. I might be streaming this game. I'm unsure at this stage yet, but I'll let you guys know. But anyway, GWS had a really disappointing loss against the Eagles last week. With Carlton, they've had an impressive win against the reigning premiers. Yes! So, and Carlton are the favourites heading into this match. So I'm going to tip Carlton to win by 35 points. So the next game is between St Kilda and Essendon, and both teams are both undefeated so far this season by surprise. So this should be a good game, and it's got to be arguably be the game of the round, I reckon. So I'm going to tip St Kilda by 1 point in a nail biter. Sorry, Sammy, I had to. And sorry, Jason and Collectibles. So the next game is going to be between Port Adelaide and Adelaide in the showdown. Port Adelaide had a really horrible loss against Collingwood last week, with Adelaide having a not a surprising loss against Richmond. It was expected. They did get back within a point at one stage, but then Richmond got away with it again. But yeah, so with Port Adelaide, I reckon they'll be the better team on the day. So I'm going to tip them to win by 24 points in the showdown. So the next game is between Gold Coast and Geelong. Both teams coming off losses. Gold Coast had a loss to Essendon and Geelong had a loss to my Blues. But I reckon with Geelong, this game will be the game that they'll bring some confidence back, I reckon. Because, Gold Coast is still a really young side and they will still have years to improve to make finals, I reckon. I don't know, I might be wrong. Don't judge me. That's just my opinion, okay? So I reckon Geelong will win this game comfortably by 47 points. So the next game will be between Melbourne and Sydney. Melbourne had a really disappointing loss against Brisbane last week, with Gawn being injured, and he'll be out for 4 to 6 weeks, I believe. Thankfully, it's not an ACL, but he's basically their number one ruckman, so Brodie Grundy will have to do all the work for the next 4 to 6 weeks while he's out now, which is really disappointing for Melbourne because they need him, but he won't be there for the next month and a bit. And with Sydney, they had a really comfortable win against the Hawks. So in this game, I'm going to go for Sydney to win by 10 points. Now the last game is between Fremantle and West Coast, the Western Derby. So Fremantle had a horrible loss against North Melbourne by a point on the weekend. And with West Coast, they had a great win against the Giants, because last year West Coast only had 2 wins because, players were in and out of COVID all year last year. But they're probably getting their best 22 back in now, which is good for them. Got a win to start this season. But I still think Fremantle will respond here. I just have that feeling. So I'm going to go with Fremantle to win by 28 points. So thank you all for watching this video. Hope your tips improve this week. Hope mine improve this week. Hope your team wins this week. Hope your team wins again, like mine. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Catch you guys, and go Blues!